Alright guys, HyDra again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. So much content coming out of the Black Ops 6 beta over the last couple of days, and they all got into it over the last 24 hours or so, really, with Crimsix and HyDra going at it over their time on the New York Subliners, back especially in the Vanguard season. Kremp giving HyDra a bit of a history lesson on many different things throughout COD history, but also HyDra clapping back as well. Shotzzy getting into it with Simp somewhat as well, also based on the situation with HyDra back at the World Championship. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. This is a question here from Boston. Obviously, well, Skyline is going to be one of the go-tos. Of the other three maps, which is the one that you're going to nuke out of the game? Derelict is not good. Rewind is probably a bit better, to be fair. Like, I don't mind this one. And, Scud is also not good. I feel like, in terms of like a core map design, Derelict is probably the worst, actually. And it doesn't really feel like a COD map at all. Scud, it doesn't look pretty, but I guess technically it's probably better. So, yeah, I don't know. That's my take, but enjoy your thoughts in the comments. Early thoughts as well on, like, who are going to be the best players in the game. Obviously, Jake Kell just kind of throwing some names out there, some European names, as he quite often will, leaving Beans out of the equation. But, from some of the movement we've seen so far, HyDra's obviously going to be in the conversation. Shotzzy should be up there. To be honest, it's going to be some similar names. I guess from an SMG perspective, you can definitely put 2 and 2 together. The other argument might be from an AR perspective. Are the AR players with a better shot? And like, all the top ARs have a good shot, but are the ARs with an even better shots going to be in a better position just because the aim assist is a bit weaker? Certainly at close range, if you do get into a close quarters gunfight with an AR, you might well be cooked unless you can really snap on target, because within like 3 meters you get no aim assist anyway, and the SMG is definitely going to be favored there because of the superior hipfire and everything like that, and usually the higher fire rate, although not always the case. So, Dashy and Scrap and, Cellium, it's all the usual suspects, isn't it? But there always is going to be some variation game to game and what we might expect to see. JoeDeceives has a pretty damn nice shot as well, no doubt about that one. These were his overall cards this season. Pretty impressive. Now, I think always with these overall cards, it's an overall card, right, of the entire season. It doesn't consider necessarily the back end of the year, the final couple of events, because definitely Joe improved substantially this year. I think one thing to note really is that this in some ways felt like JoeDeceives' rookie season. It wasn't, technically. He played on Gorillas last year, but it felt like it in some respects, because Gorillas was a disaster class, the team was awful, and yeah, he held his own, but it's not like the team was any good by any stretch of the imagination. Whereas on Thieves, it's a different story. They improved over the year. Obviously, he started off not great. He got benched initially, right? Afro stayed. Then he came back and he was much better from then to the end of the season. And sure, the overall numbers, 0.95, let's say his overall card or his LAN card, in that kind of ballpark. But that's fine given his pace and the impact that he has, right? The important numbers are the kills per 10, the damage per 10, if you're playing a guy like JoeDeceives in his role. And also, look at the engagement rate for hill time. I mean, 97 hill time, ticks per round right up there as well. So, fast-paced player and doing a lot of the objective work and getting plenty of kills. Very impressive season, I thought, from Joe, and not a player that I would expect them to replace. I mean, the point really of that Thieves project this year was to find the players that would serve as the bedrock for when they're trying to get back to championship contention, and they weren't far off at all. I mean, they're in a grand finals at the World Cup, top 4 at the World Championship, but I think Ghosty is a staple. JoeDeceives, probably, given their situation and their plan, should well be a staple as well. Nastie, you can question it. Kremp, I think you can question it. We'll see what they decide to do. These were Kenny's cards, by the way. 88 overall on the season, of course, bringing more to the table than just overall numbers. But nonetheless, a great season from Kenny. Online, as always, not as strong as LAN. No real surprises there. Some of the numbers not massively different, but you've always got to consider that on LAN, you're playing harder competition generally, right? Because when you're in a LAN situation, you're typically, if you're OpTic, winning the first round of winners. All of a sudden, you're playing a team that's top 6, then you're playing a top 4, a top 3, a top 2 team, whereas online, that's just randomized, right? So your LAN numbers are expected to be worse. If they're any better, then, you're a LANimal, right? I think that is safe to say. His search was still pretty underwhelming this year, right? I think, he certainly knows that himself, that he didn't have the greatest search and destroy, and it was pretty much the only thing letting down his overall overall, not easily getting into the 90s this season. But that has been a weakness of his in the past. Thankfully, he's got Shotzzy, Pred, and Dashy on the team as well, so that is no real dilemma. But let's talk about some of the drama here that was going down on stream. And, you know, some drama, some just good trash talk. Great stuff, I thought, in some ways. To see HyDra stream as well, I know people have said, because HyDra's a very entertaining personality, and ever since he properly learned how to speak English, this guy has been hella entertaining. We just don't get to see it all that often because he doesn't tend to like to stream. Some people have said that's because he doesn't want to like show off his POV. He feels like if he streams, certainly on a game that he is rather good at, that people are just going to learn from him, and I totally get that. But at the same time, if you stream, you can make quite a lot of money. I mean, we saw Parasite, I think accidentally or intentionally, I don't know, leaked his kind of earnings on Twitch over the last few months, and you know, the ad rates on Twitch right now in terms of CPM are still pretty insane. I don't know if they're going to last forever. I'm not sure, you know, personally, these kind of, so CPM is the amount of money that an advertiser will pay you per 1,000 views. Some of the numbers that they're giving you on Twitch through whatever deal that Amazon has managed to strike, I think are still pretty insane. And it's not even just the sub revenue the streamers get. You know, they can get some really juicy ad revenue. I don't know if it's going to last forever. So as it stands, the streamers better take advantage of it in some respects, and HyDra's probably realizing that over the last couple of days. There's a few things he's been talking about, right? I know Emmanuel pointed out to me here that HyDra is talking about wanting, you know, the dive or some of the features to be even faster. And you've got to say, given his playstyle, I mean, I guess we'll just play this clip in the background real quick for you guys, because this is HyDra in full flow here using the Omni movement. And I'm sure there's going to be, you know, more that can be done and used, but I just think players like HyDra that like to use this slide a lot, the fact that you can slide and turn at the same time, this I think is an early look of what we're going to see from a lot of POVs this season here from HyDra's perspective. There's obviously more you could do as well, but this is the way that HyDra, I mean, like that guy just got completely tucked. This is going to look crazy from the other team's POV, and I mean, like, we saw that HyDra got destroyed yesterday by some guy. This is what happens when it goes HyDra's way, and there should be no real surprise about that. Several clips I wanted to share for you guys, some very entertaining ones of that. HyDra getting into it with Kremp, absolutely, over what's happened back in their Vanguard year during that Subliners season, with a few funny words to say. This I also wanted to share here from Shotzzy, right? So you guys might remember with the World Championship when there was the Subliners were playing FaZe, and HyDra had a really good map. I think he dropped like crazy numbers in the search and destroy something, and he basically stands up and he says, maybe he didn't stand up, he heard it in the comms anyway, that he was like, that was my MVP, because Simp won the MVP just before. There was some debate on who it should have been. It could have been Simp, it could have been Scrappy, it could have been HyDra. Like, either way, you know, you could have argued it, I suppose. Shotzzy was there or thereabouts in the conversation, but probably not quite consistent enough over the entire season compared to those other three guys. I think I would have given it to Simp, but I think it was very much difficult to argue. HyDra clearly felt like it was him, and understandably, obviously you're going to back yourself, and you're going to back, you know, I'm sure his teammates were going to back him as well. So Simp was then kind of sitting there being like, wow, what about that? And Shotzzy asks him, how did that go? What did you say back to him in response? So we get an interesting answer on that one as well. But also from the HyDra side, you guys might remember the Algeria-related drama, right? Because Paco or HyDra is French Algerian, so you know, pretty common, and like Kremp didn't even know where Algeria was or something, like, and there was all sorts of drama back in that Vanguard season. I can't believe that team was anywhere near competent. Like, the fact that they made it to champs after that run, and they actually made a grand finals of an event and they won the Pro-Am, was, I still can't believe, like, with X, Crimsix, Kismet and HyDra, you know, they won an event and made a grand finals, made that crazy run, crazy like result. But you know, I think that's, and X, like, put some respect on his name, and obviously Kismet as well, but like that kind of just shows what a winner Crimsix is, and also just how good HyDra is, that they were somehow able to make that actually work. But it's good to see that they actually get along nowadays, but nonetheless HyDra with a couple of daggers here to Kremp.
Well, yo, Chris, what were you thinking whenever, did you hear Paco whenever he was like, that's my MVP?
Yeah, no, I was like, this guy's fucking horrible, like. No, that shit was funny. I mean, bro, like, he had a good map, like, damn, like.
Yeah, bro, if I was the other guy, I would be like, holy fuck, this guy.
No, because after the control, I started saying shit back to him, I think.
Yeah, you did. Bro, I would have been like,
I can't hear you. You're like, Paco, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
That's actually comedy.
Bro, I gotta get real, like, I gotta tip it. I'd be going crazy too.
Oh, maybe I was dog shit.
Wait, no, yeah, you were dog shit, bro. You got
Don't say that. See, that's the problem we have.
No,
We just
be
don't
honest with
understand each
yourself.
other,
Be
bro.
honest with yourself, bro.
I was fucking ass. No, listen.
In Vanguard, you were ass.
Because, bro, you guys were fucking dog shit, bro. I can't do it all. You guys leave my team and I'm winning champs. I win champs 5-0, 35 minutes, bro.
You won in 35 minutes?
Yeah, a champs grand final, 32 minutes and 33 seconds, bro.
Damn, bro. You're him.
But the problem is, I'm telling you, Vanguard, bro, you're just a bad teacher. Just say it.
I'm a bad teacher?
Yeah, you were not teaching me the game.
Yeah, because we were 6 months behind, and Kismet obviously knew better. So I took a step down. Facts. You know that's facts. And you know if Algeria didn't exist, we would have won everything. Facts.
Oh, no.
Facts.
No, bro, listen.
No,
You know what I remember?
That's facts. That's
No, you-
cold, hard facts. If Algeria, if you,
Kill order.
But you were actually the best, like, by far.
Classify the AO kill team.
Mir Damon.
We've taken
Damon?
the lead.
I thought that was between you and Seth. Am I speaking?
Yeah, you're tweaking.
Was Seth not godlike at this?
We're winning.
He was good. Oh my god, I just stuck him cross map. He was good. I don't think it was me or Damon though.
Yeah, Damon was godlike.
Yeah.
Hostile
Yeah, I remember.
Seth's overall team just didn't play the game right at all.
What was his team?
OpTic.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, yeah, like, I'm sure that's OpTic. I'm saying
It was like Big Timer,
big timer.
Merc, and Proofy? No, that's not right.
Who was, like, the best on his
Oh,
team?
Nade.
He was the best on his team?
Oh, for sure, yeah. That's no doubt.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Would end the game, I would just pull up the scoreboard. I'm like, okay, like, what's happening? Every game, you would have 50 deaths. No, I don't know. You don't know what to say. I had nothing to say, bro. Bro, the scan control, you were so fucking dog shit.
So as I say, as good as they were during that Vanguard season towards the end, making the serious run, as HyDra says, once I got rid of you guys, you know, I won champs in a 5-0 grand finals in like 35 minutes. So very entertaining. And, you know, I wonder when HyDra, if ever, will get up to this kind of tenure of being one of the only players to have 10 wins in their career. There's a few very interesting stats here that are worth looking at. Firstly, from Kremp, I mean, you can't avoid it. 38 wins, 52 grand finals from 91 events. This is maybe the most impressive stat on this entire list, you can argue. Simp and aBeZy are there as well, but it's kind of a different era nowadays. Like, I mean, you can talk about the level of competition, like, in various eras, but also I tend to feel like back in the day it was harder to make a grand finals because of the way the events were structured. The pros might disagree with this, but let's say in Modern Warfare 19 you could make a grand finals winning like 2 series, right? Because you'd start in, if you were good online or good in the lead up matches, you'd end up starting in like winners round 2, you'd get a bye, and then you'd have to win like 2 series to get to the finals. So, you know, I wasn't, and obviously when it was 5v5 maybe you can argue that the competition was more spread out. There's some debate on that, but Kremp going to 91 events and making 57% of those grand finals is, especially compared to like even Scump, Karma, Formal, Aches, TP, like these kind of guys, that grand finals record is super impressive, I think, for Kremp. And obviously Simp has the best one. aBeZy has slightly worse because he played in the World War II season as well before Simp was old enough to, you know, for them to actually play together, right? But these are some of the numbers. Obviously, event win percentage, Kremp's at 42%, which is the highest of anyone here, which maybe is the most impressive stat. You can look at it a couple of different ways. I think the other player that's worth looking at really here is Big Timer, right? Because the fact that he retired in Ghosts and won 11 events, made 15 grand finals from 28 events that he played before that, definitely some respect needs to be put on his name, I think. But, you know, those that know that, you know, Big T, the original GOAT, no doubt about it. But very much interested your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.